Am I live? Oh, I know what I did. Hang on a second, guys. Sorry. I had to put the... Am I there? Oh, there I am. I have this on my laptop. I have a safety... I'm going to turn off the air conditioner in a minute. I'll close these. I leave them open so that when I put the dehumidifier on, I explain that every time. But, Florida, although they're pretty good now, I could close them. I've been here a few weeks, so... but as soon as I come, when I'm not visiting, my parents don't run the dehumidifier. And dehumidifier, not humidifier. In Florida, it's so humid that the air conditioners are supposed to also dehumidify, but they don't do such a great job. You get a separate dehumidifier machine that you plug in. It runs like a humidifier, but backwards. So, but it uses electricity. So when I'm not here, they don't want to waste electricity. I'm in the garage. They turn it off. And when I come back, the drawers and inside the cupboards, it smells very musty, So I open everything, I leave everything open, and I run the dehumidifier. And in a day or two, it's fine. So, but it's been running for a couple of weeks I've been here. So, and then I'll sit down and blab, which will make me calm down. At least where you can see. And then here I was doing a project. I've got some strings. I always have projects that I never complete. And they're just in my head. I dream a lot and don't actually act on my own life. I do a lot, like if I say, oh, I'm going to do this. And if it's for like a public, fundraiser or something for helping the community or whatever, doing what I have to do, go to school, go to work, I do that. And I'm very diligent. But when it comes to my own stuff, I'm just like, oh, I got to do that. I'll get to that. So that's another project. I won't even start to explain, but it's a cute little apartment. The fridge is open with good and bad, but it's not plugged in. The door is broken. For some reason, I can't shut it runs, it works, but I don't know what happened to it. So Monday, I'm leaving for Argentina. I'm not wearing my glasses. I see there's some chatters there. Good morning. Oh, the ASMR people. Hello there. Yes, I'm sorry. Alperin Gultekin. The reason I opened this channel, the Ramble Scramble, is because I was not doing ASMR on the official ASMR channel. So I said, this isn't fair. If I'm going to tout it as an ASMR channel, I should do it. And I'm really not into ASMR anymore. And I can't snap gum anymore. I had to have a tooth pulled. I'm so ashamed. I've never been great at, my front teeth are awesome. I've been lucky there. But, the ones where you chew food and all, I've never been I brushed my teeth, how I was supposed to morning and night, sometimes only morning at some points in my life. But never been great at flossing and all. And it adds up over the years, you start having your problems. And so I got to a point where I actually had to have a tooth pulled. So that one, the only way to fix it, it's in the back. So I figured, no one can see it. But so I didn't get an implant. They're so expensive. So I apologize. Hello, everyone else that I haven't said hi to yet. Because you're ASMR, please. Oh, well, I won't be able to do gum snapping. I may do a soft spoken if I get to a point where I can speak softly again. And I also don't do many videos with me on. I can't. I don't like how I look anymore. Even, with makeup I do, but I'm too lazy to do makeup. I'm like, do makeup just for a video. I'll put a little of this on, but I look tanner. I do look a little better when I have a tan. I don't look so pasty, but yeah, really, I should at least put on eye mascara and lip stuff. It actually makes a huge difference. I will do that. Put this on. This is just a shiny thing. And then I'll blab. But one thing I'm not going to blab about is politics. when I'm not on YouTube, very like when you see long portions where I'm not here, it's because I've gotten enwrapped in my political stuff. And I always try to tell myself not to bring that negative stuff to YouTube because it gets very heated for me. I'll be right back. I'm going to get the mascara. And here I am. I'm here. I'm just getting the mascara. All right, I turned off the air conditioner. I just needed a boost. It's too noisy. So anyway, so that's that. If all my political views are public at this point, so I'm, if you're interested, they're very conservative. So if you don't like that, I think I've already lost some people that had been following me for years when I didn't talk politics and you're nice and everything's cool. Of course, everyone follows you. You're very non-threatening, but it got to a point where, okay, let's not talk politics. But what did hurt me is that people who had followed me for years, that we even had, I wouldn't say a friendship, I'd never met them, but we had like a connection of understanding each other as women and, and I think they're gone. So, it hurt me a little. I mean, I'll live, but that because we have different beliefs on things, you lose friends, but oh well. Friends yeah, I've lost friends too. But I knew that, you know what, I'm not going to be sad because I said, but whatever has happened, it hurts still, but I was prepared for it. So, you have to decide what is more important to you. Okay, so the camera's kind of cool. It's you can kind of use it as a mirror. One thing, so I'm going to Argentina Monday. And in Argentina, they're very physically oriented, beauty and the women. Yeah, there's a lot, like in most parts of the world, there's pressure for the women to be attractive. And even when you're old like me, of course, the younger women have it very, very hard. I mean, they enjoy looking beautiful. It's the culture, and it leads to bad things too, like anorexia and all this other stuff. But for the most part, they still take pride in the look and appearances, and especially in the upper classes. And so anyway, so they're plastic surgery, Botox, all those things. They're one of the best doctors in the world. Some of the best doctors for those are in Argentina. I will not be getting plastic surgery ever, ever. That's one thing. But yes, I have in the past and ready to do again. Get a little lip plumper and a little Botox, which wears off. I always remind people that. So if I look too crazy, I won't be on camera. But so I'm probably going to get Botox here so that my forehead freezes, and a little around here. And I'm getting a lip plumper injections. So that'll a little bit helps you, a little bit makes you feel good when you do those things. I wouldn't say get obsessed to go overboard. So that makes me kind of happy that soon I'll be feeling a little bit more, confident and happy about how I look. But yeah, that is in me. It's part of the culture. And of course, in America, there was more positive reinforcement of, be who you are. And if you're not perfect, you're okay, and that's a very healthy message too. Again, if it doesn't go to the extreme, it has to be in the middle. You should, first of all, for health reasons, as far as weight, of course, do the best you can. Everyone, it's hard. I mean, especially when I was younger. Like now certain foods have made me a little bit, I'm less desperate for certain kinds of foods. Like when I was young, and I also know why, because when you're young, everything is new. So there's always new foods to try, and this and that, and this culture and that kind of food. But when you get to my age, if you've been around a bit, you've already tried all the new foods. So it's no longer new. You might find a difference between, for example, Chinese food and Japanese and Thai, and of course they're very different. Vietnamese food, they're all different cuisines. Maybe to Americans, it's all kind of the same, and even to me, I know there are differences, but I couldn't tell you right now. Like some don't use chopsticks. I had no idea. Asian, I mean, obviously not India. You know, I'm sorry. Connection unstable. Okay, good. Saved by the bell. In Antalya. Sorry. Oh, you're very interesting, Alperin. Is that your name sounds Turkish, maybe? I'm gonna have to look that up right now. I wish I could share my screen on YouTube. I keep trying to figure out how to do it. On Twitch, I can share my screen, which is why I've been over there a lot, because I've been talking, showing people what I'm talking about. Well, certain Asian countries, for the most part, the ones, a lot of Asian countries. I just thought they all use chopsticks. That's my. I just thought, oh, they have certain look. They use chopsticks. That was just like, see, that's a prejudice. I'm not being racist. I'm not saying anything bad. It's just this is usually ignorance, I would say. Ignorance too. Ignorance, prejudice, then it leads up more and more to racism. I mean, there are levels. So we kind of got to go easy on people who don't know because they just don't know. Sometimes not so much people from those countries, people from the countries that I may be ignorant about will sometimes say, oh, actually, in this country, we do this and we don't use chops, and then you learn. But sometimes people who are not from that culture know that they don't use chopsticks and they kind of get mean and call you as if you're racist. And yeah, ignorant for sure. And I didn't realize I was that ignorant. Just, what was I think the other day, Vietnam uses chopsticks, I believe. Before I look it up, I'm going to see how ignorant I am. Turkey, the dollar's 15 and cheap country for vacation. I've heard of Turkey. I've never been there. That sounds like a fun place. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of places I haven't gone to, but I've eaten, okay, again, I've eaten a lot of Greek food. I probably tried Turkish food, and while I know they're not exactly the same, there are likely a lot of similarities. So if I were to someday try Turkish food, yeah, I'd be like, oh, this is something new, but I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. My point is, well, going in circles again, but so when you get older, it's easier to control, and you've sampled foods from around the world. It's kind of easier to control, especially if you're someone who loves food. Like I still do, but I used to be like obsessed with food. And I even had weight problems, believe it or not. Nobody can believe me. They say, you want to stop working? It's a weekday. It's a week. And a lot of people in the house are using the internet, competing with offices, and I don't know. This little bird is not really working. But let me get back to my original point. This is why I call it ramble, because I just, but they're all connected. If you go back, there are connections. And I gotta not read the chat. It throws me off too. I'm gonna read the chat after I finish my point, which I don't even remember what it was. The chopsticks part wasn't my point. The point was the food. Then I'll get to the chopsticks. Okay, so I feel, my opinion, it's harder to control your weight sometimes when you're younger. For some, it's the opposite. And I'll get to that. But first, I'll get to my situation. It's easier for me to control my weight now. First of all, because, like I said, food isn't so new. I've tried so many different kinds of foods that I don't get like, oh, I want to try, oh, now I want to try that. And I want, now I just try what I like, which Asian food of many countries of Asia that I've tried. Oh, my mouth is watering now. I had some last night. And usually Asian food is healthy. A lot of the, Chinese food can be very healthy. It's stir fried, but it's stir fried quick with the oil, with the vegetables and stuff. And so the oil doesn't sink in. It's kind of just stir fried quick because it's so hot that it doesn't sink in. So it has flavorful, but it's not high fat, Then the egg rolls and that's a bit, more oily. Yeah, so now I serve what I want, and maybe it's also age or whatever. I don't know, but I just seem to have an easier time controlling my weight now than when I was young. But others have the opposite. Because when they were young, maybe they were sports, played sports and they ran around, and youth is usually you're more active, so it's easier to keep your weight down. And as they get older, they gain weight. But one thing I was overweight, and even, but I was very, very used to my parents always, the Argentine thing, stay thin. They pushed the vegetables, pushed. Like at first you're like, ew. And then you start getting used to them. And like, if you don't eat your vegetables, they weren't the clean plate club, first of all, which I think is a good thing to some extent. I mean, they said, okay, here, they'd serve me an amount and I would eat what I wanted. And if I was full, I was full. But they would say, like, if I hadn't touched the vegetables, they say, okay, you can't leave, or you're not going to get your birthday gift or whatever. If you don't eat, it wouldn't be that bad. But, you have to eat some of those vegetables. They wouldn't force the whole thing. So that, I personally think that's the right way to do it. But of course, every parent has their own, other parents, if they have a problem with a very skinny child, maybe they do have to do the clean plate club, assuming the portion is reasonable, But no, we ate well, but maybe they made sure finish, that's fine. And they wouldn't, actually, my parents would take it and just eat the rest. But yeah, as much as I complain about everyone, I think they had a healthy attitude. Things, lose weight and stuff. But anyway, I did get bread. I love the bread. Okay. Let me just get, I'm having trouble with this mascara. I'm gonna pull up here too. Oh, good, great. Now I'm gonna have to wipe it off. Sometimes I do this, but I put too much. They have all kind of fancy schmancy makeups that you can buy. And sometimes I buy them, but I don't want to remind myself. I had that Kat Von D makeup got stolen. That was expensive, and I bought it on sale. But I'll get it again because it was good, and I'd only used it like once. And I was coming on a trip. I forgot my suitcase on the metro rail, and someone picked it up. Never saw it again. That's enough. I left him. I told you about that in a previous video. Is that okay, guys? This is a little funny. I gotta pluck my. Yeah, when I come back from Argentina, I'm gonna do the whole works since it's cheap down there right now with the dollar. I'm gonna get my eyebrows done. I'm gonna get Botox here. I'm gonna get lip injection and be a little poofier. And I'm gonna try to focus. So I was overweight. Blah blah blah. All right. So the youth today. So something about keeping my weight down. Okay, that's that. Whatever I said. I hope you got the point. Anyway, so another thing that kind of came off of that topic. What was I watching the other day where I realized it was an Asian country, but they weren't using chopsticks. And I was fascinated to find out that some Asian countries don't use chopsticks. And I'm not going to look it up because I want to remember which country. China uses chopsticks. Japan uses chopsticks. Vietnam uses chopsticks. And I'll look at the chat in a bit. I don't want to be. Was it Thailand that doesn't use chopsticks? I'm going to guess it was Thailand. Here's what. I'm going to go to the map. I can't share the screen with you guys, but I'm going to go to the map of the world, the map of Asia. Map of Asia. And I'm going to go country by country and guess which use chopsticks and which don't. Here we go. So here's the part. Here we go. Now, India obviously doesn't, but I didn't mean India. I meant the Far East. Far East. Past India. Okay, let me open this bigger. It's too small. Can't see it. Can I make it bigger? I need a bigger one. About this one. Oh, goodness. I can't see. I wish it were bigger. Okay, map. Here we go. Asia maps. Oh, please. I just want a normal map. We'll have to go to maps.com, maps.google.com. Okay, one second. Hang on. I have a bag for Argentina. I don't know what to take. I've got all these clothes. It's cold down there now. It's winter. Not freezing cold, but I'm going to the south, which is freezing cold. So I don't have enough winter coat. I'll buy one when I'm there. Because I came back to Florida, I gave away my winter coat. I'm not planning to move there again up there. So we'll still see. We were good friends before. We had our little, I mean, they were around 4 years, but out, that's friends. I'm just going to go Google Maps, maps.google.com. So Asia. Okay, there we go. So I'll make it bigger. This is better. Okay, so we're going to start over here. Mongolia, I'm going to guess does because it's next to China. I'm going to write it down, see which because I'll put it on a Google sheet. I have so many Google sheets with all kinds of, because I keep track of. Hold on a second. I hope I don't cut you guys off because I have to switch to another account. Actually, let me go to, I started a sheet way back when I started teaching Excel, and it's turned into, I'll share the link with you. It's turned into a sheet about everything, just like this channel. It's turning into, because now I'm going to open a new sheet that says Asian countries that use chopsticks. I'm going to call the new sheet Asian chopsticks. I'll give it a name at some point. Okay, so let's go. We're going to add. So we're going to just put I'll just name it for now Asian culinary. Asians, would you call it silverware? Eatingware? Asian eating utensils situation. Asian eating utensil. And if there is an Asian person in the audience, you'll be entertained. Asian eating utensils. I'm not looking at the chat. I will in a bit, but countries. By country. Asian eating utensils by country. Because some may not even use fork and knife. Maybe they use something else. So, all right. I'm just going to list them as I recall first. The ones that do. China, yes. I'll give you guys the link because it's an open Excel sheet. So if you've got a curiosity, you can flip through the different tabs and see the different, I don't know, somebody might like it. So I'm going to insert a row, and you learn to use Excel. It's a sheet that you can download and do whatever you want with. So country, people writing to me, flat spam. Okay. I was looking at bounce houses to buy, to maybe start a little party. Back in Argentina, when I was married, my husband had bought several bounce houses, and we would go to birthday parties and rent them out, and we did okay with that. I had to have a little thing connected to the truck, and I'd obviously need assistance. They were heavy. I was younger, and we both did it with the dolly, and he had some kids that helped. But the further I get away from my marriage, the more I think I should have tried harder. But hindsight is always 20/20. So country and chopsticks. So it's just this one column says country. I'm put the name of the countries, and the next column says chopsticks. If you guys are on Twitch, it's not fair to make you guys who know me from here to join somewhere else just to follow me. It's my duty to provide the facilitation to the audience. Customer service or what will. I'm not sure if I make money off this channel. Yeah, I think I have to get to 1,000 people. But even so, I would like to make money off this channel, even though it's just me blabbing. So I have to offer to you. If you don't want to sign up to Twitch, you shouldn't have to. So I'll figure it out. I might have to get 2 cameras, but I would love to be able to show my screen. And I know there's a way to do it, but I haven't tried hard enough to figure it out. I tried a little bit, but okay, so country, chopsticks. All right, so that's the column. So first, China, yes. Then Japan, yes. Vietnam, I'm going to guess yes. I believe I've seen Vietnam. Yes. Well, at least for cooking, they do. You know what? I might be wrong. Yes, for cooking. I know for a fact. I don't know. Yes, for cooking. I'm trying to recall if I've seen the Vietnamese people eat with chopsticks. I might be wrong about that one. So yes, for cooking. And I'll say maybe for eating. But then I'm going to have to decide yes or no. And then we'll go down and see which ones I got right. So that one I'm going to have to determine. Okay, what other countries are there? Mongolia is interesting to me. Is that where Tibet is? I've never done much research on Mongolia. I think it existed, then it didn't. It's like, you see, that's my ignorance. I just never knew. So let me put Mongolia there, and then we'll learn about Mongolia. See how you learn? You sometimes just, that's why I love the internet, because you have something curious and you just find it, you make sure it's a good reference, and then you're educated. You didn't have to go to school to learn that. Some people learn a lot in school. I learned nothing in school because I couldn't, ADHD or whatever. So Mongolia, I'm going to say yes. What the heck? It's next to China, so. Okay, what's left? Let's see. Mongolia. See, now left Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal. I'm not going to do those. I'm talking about, Far East countries. Nepal. I know nothing about Nepal. I'm going to put it on the list because I have to learn about Nepal. So, are you guys still there, or am I disconnected? I might forget you guys are there at some point. Oh, 2 viewers. See, people get bored with me. Okay, I'm going to read. Okay, Esra, good morning. Hello there. Love your... Oh, yeah, I do look better with highlights. You can actually see that I have some dimension. I was seeing myself in a video a few weeks ago before I had the highlight, and, the highlights had grown to back here, and this was all black, my natural hair color. I said, it looks like I'm wearing a helmet. It's like I had a black helmet on. So I realized I better get highlights. They grow fast. Yeah, I do admit I do look... you do look better when you do a little bit to yourself. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of beauty, a little bit of makeup, just don't feel that's all you are. But yeah, be proud of how you look. Do a little bit of nip and tuck, if you will. I say that I will never go under the knife. I'll only ever do those superficial things. But who knows? I mean, there are elderly people that, it becomes actually necessary because our eyes get so, like mine are already, I try to keep them up, but your eyes, the flap starts to droop. And as you get older, I'm sorry, you're like a Shar-Pei, you sag. You can't, there are things you can do to make it slow down. But so at some point, a friend of mine who was much older, that happened to him. At some point, he was so saggy, he couldn't see. I'm sorry. I believe Shar-Pei dogs have that problem. So he ended up getting an operation so that he could see. But he said, heck, as long as I'm getting the operation, I may as well ask them to make it look nice, which it did. So, he did go under the knife in part out of necessity. Or the other thing is to get some tape and tape it up, Oh, God. I hope you guys are a long way from elderly ages, but okay, man. So Mongolia. So we're back. Oh, I didn't read the chat. Let me finish. As long as I was reading it. Okay. How much is an imp? Okay, please continue to shoot a... Oh, thank you. Love your highlights. Thank you. Whoever's still there, I was ignoring you all. Thank you, Alperin, the viewer. How much is an implant? Oh, for teeth, it's thousands. Even if you have coverage, like 4,000 for one implant. And I'm like, yeah, I want to have a nice smile, but even when I smile, you don't. I actually had to pull two. You guys, I'm so ashamed. Floss, floss. People told me floss, and I didn't listen. I would do it occasionally, but brush your teeth, floss, do what the dentist tells you to do. I'd say, oh, yeah, I'll start doing it. Thank you, doctor. And then I wouldn't do it. So flossing would have made a lot of difference. Now, some people are more prone to cavities than others. And my father does too. And my father has always flossed and brushed and done everything. And he's gotten cavities. But had to have deeper, what do you call it, root canal. But I was not that. But it would have helped for sure. But definitely, and eating all the candy I ate and not brushing my teeth right away. Because let's say, okay, you're addicted to candy, you love candy. Well, eat it, and as soon as you're done, brush your teeth. So at least it's not sitting there. I would eat the candy and go on about life. So, all right, it's my own fault. But anyway, yeah, implants are expensive. For the one I was quoted, for the one that, it was 4,000. Plus, you got to go to, if the one doctor doesn't always do the same thing, sometimes you got to go to another doctor to have the tooth pulled because there's no way to salvage it. It's beyond even a crown. If you don't get the implant right away, I'll get into that later, but it's very expensive. It would have been a lot cheaper to floss. So, what time is it in America? Oh, right now it's 9 in the morning, 9:07 now. 8:40 in India. Wait a minute. Oh, Indiana. I thought you said India. I was like, you're only an hour difference from us? Okay. Are you at church? Oh, at Poesy. I've been here for years. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, great. Maybe you guys will make friends. You're all in Turkey. The dollar is cheap. I've got to try Turkey someday. I've got to visit Turkey. Istanbul is beautiful, but it's too crowded and life is hard. 3 years ago, Trump beat Turkey and the world. Therefore, the economy is a bit bad in Istanbul. Okay, yeah, that's politics. I want to Turkey map. Okay, I will look at the Turkish map in a Turkey map in a minute. So, back to here. Is anyone there? One person. Oh, you guys are so bored with me. Oh, well, I'll just go on. Asia. All right, so Mongolia, Nepal. I'm going to put Nepal on there because I'm not sure if that's considered Far East. And I'm going to say no for Nepal. And then, okay, India. Okay, Myanmar, Burma. It says Myanmar, Burma. See, now I'm going to learn about those countries in a minute. Myanmar, I guess the ones closer to India would be no's. A no. It's fun to guess. Laos would be yes, because it's close to Vietnam. So I'm going to see, Thailand, I believe, was the one that was a no. They don't use chopsticks. I could be wrong. And you guys feel free to put in the chat, but I'm not going to look at it because I want to guess. First, I'm going to put all the countries. Okay, so Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, and Cambodia. I'll put them in. Laos, Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia. Okay, so yeah, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia. We have over here China. Taiwan is sort of China, isn't it? I think so. I'm going to say Taiwan. I'll put that one in right now. I'm going to say Taiwan. Yes. Hong Kong. Hong Kong is an interesting country because it's kind of Asia, but it's kind of not, right? Hong. It's like an American Asia. That's how I think of it in my ignorant mind. Is Singapore, is that a country or a city? You see, I know nothing about Asia. I know China, Japan, how they eat, a little bit about those cultures, and that's about it. Vietnam, of course, because we were at war with them. So, I mean, I was around during that time. So obviously I know something about Vietnam. Then the rest I know nothing. Thailand, a little bit I know, but because I met a lady from there. But okay, the only thing I really know about Thailand is that's where a lot of tourism for the beautiful women, go and meet the beautiful women and, the sex thing. I know it's more than that, though. The only part I know about, because it's very publicized or whatever, is that American and men from other countries go there to enjoy themselves with the women. But I know that it's more than that. And certainly that's an insult to the women of Thailand if I say that's all they have to offer. So I know I'm not, but since I just never researched it, I have no idea. Look at me, I'm not eating my breakfast. I'm in a blabbing mood. And this makes me feel good. I come on here and I talk about everything except politics and I get a break, Because I've been very depressed, All right. Yeah, Philippines. See, I should know about the Philippines, for goodness sakes. But okay, let me put the Philippines in. I have no idea. Philippines. I probably didn't spell it right. Let me see. Asia. It's 1L, 2Ps. I did the opposite. 2Ls, 1P. It didn't look right. I didn't know how to spell it, but I knew it didn't look right. Okay, 1L, 2Ps. Okay, I'll put the names and then I'll go one by one and decide what's down here. Okay, now I'm going to leave out Malaysia. Okay, Singapore is a country. Singapore. Well, Malaysia is kind of. I'm going to put Malaysia in there and Singapore. Malaysia. I'll put those in there, but I'm going to have to take a stabbing guess at that. Singapore. Malaysia, Singapore. Then we get down to Australia, all that. Okay, so forget them. Philippines we did. Taiwan. Okay, now we got to get to Korea. What else is left? North Korea, South Korea. Okay, I'm going to just stick with those. North Korea, South Korea, and that's all. And then I'll sort it, because with Excel you can sort by alphabet. Now, Korea is Korea, but who knows? So I'm going to say North Korea, since they're separate. I assume if North Korea does, then South Korea does. North Korea and South Korea. All right, and now I'm going to sort. See, if you could see my screen, you'd see how great Excel is. Sort it. So I'm sorting it alphabetically. I missed it. All right. I can't see well. My glasses make me look so ugly, though. But I have these horrible glasses to see with. Look how horrible they are. Before I continue. But I don't feel like putting my contact lenses in. Look how horrible these are. Look at that. I see perfectly with these. Hello, good morning. Someone came back in. Oh, loves lattes. Oh, thank you for coming back to see me. Thank you. Yeah, I'm kind of in one of my OCD things going on. So I just blabbing, it relieves. But blabbing to myself doesn't help as much as blabbing and somebody's listening. And they might even say, yeah, that crazy lady, look at her, ha, she's so funny, she's blabbing. But somebody's listening, somebody, I see one person. Sometimes I see there's just one person. I have no idea who the person is. And I'm just like, one person in the world is listening to me. They might have it on and gone off and do laundry. But theoretically, I'm assuming one person is listening. So But so I don't want to wear these horrible glasses to see, but I don't want to put on my contact lenses right now. So whoever came in that doesn't know what I'm doing, I'm listing all of the Far East countries, and I'm going to guess, because I don't know very much about the Far East, countries. So I'm going to guess which ones use chopsticks and which ones don't. Because until recently, I thought all of them use chopsticks to eat. I said, oh yeah, the Asian, they use chopsticks, the Far East. And the other day, I think it was Thailand. I don't even remember what country it was, but I was surprised to learn that that country doesn't use chopsticks to eat. And who knows if they use something else, but and also now, what kind of spoons do they use? Because when you go to a Chinese restaurant and order soup, they give you a special kind of spoon, with the flat bottom, and it's sort of thicker. It's not like like our spoons. I say a regular spoon. To them, it's a regular spoon. These are cold. Okay. So I'm going to get started on the guessing game. Mm-hmm. Okay, 1 minute. So we're going to do, Cambodia. Now, Cambodia, I believe, is near, I can cheat by looking at the map. Cambodia, I believe, is near Vietnam, isn't it? Vietnam. No, it's not. Where's Cambodia? Hang on a second. There's Thailand. Hang on a second. What's going on here? Okay. Is it just because it's very small? So the name isn't... Oh, there it is. Yeah. Cambodia is next to Vietnam. I thought so because Vietnam War, I remember hearing Cambodia. I was a little girl, but I remember words. So, okay. I'm going to guess Cambodia does use chopsticks. I'm going to say Cambodia, yes. China, yes. Hong Kong is going to get me because I kind of feel like Hong Kong is an American Asian place, So let me look at the location because that would help too. I forget where Hong Kong is. I have a friend living in Hong Kong. Oh no, she just came back, but her husband was stationed over there in Hong Kong for his work. And I never asked her about the food or anything. Hong Kong. Okay, Hong Kong is down there next to China. Oh, is Hong Kong a city, not a country? I'm so embarrassed. I thought Hong Kong is a city. Hong Kong is a city, not a country? Gosh, you guys, you might be cracking your heads off right now, but what country is Hong Kong in? What country is Hong Kong? Well, now I'll be able to have interesting conversations with people. I'm going to say, is Hong Kong a country? Is Hong Kong a country? Hong Kong is not a country, but a special administrative... Oh, Hong Kong is not a country, but a special administrative region of the People's Republic of China. So Hong Kong is in China. Hong Kong was a British colony between 1842 and 1997. Oh, Hong Kong is the one that went communist, not... I thought it was Taiwan that went communist. I'm mixing up Taiwan with Hong Kong. Okay, so I'm gonna keep return Hong Kong to China. Okay, so it is in China. All right, so I'm gonna say yes. Hong Kong is kind of together, so I'm gonna say yes. I mean, they may have changed a lot since they were under British rule and all that. They probably still used chopsticks, but maybe got out of the habit of it. But originally, probably yes. So I'm going to say yes for Hong Kong. Japan, yes. Malaysia. Malaysia's kind of like India, but kind of Far East. So Let me look here. So, what's Hainan? Is that a Hainan? I just Haiku. Hainan must be. Oh, Hainan is a Japanese island just off of. All right. So, what were we looking at here? Were we looking at Malaysia? Malaysia. Where's that located? And then I can guess by the location, because ordinarily countries next to each other will have certain things in common culturally. They may be at war with each other, but they have cultures in common, like Greece and Turkey. I've never been to Turkey, and I know that they're very different countries. If Mr. The gentleman is still there, but they have a lot of the things in common. For racially, even they're very similar, and it's just a division of of the way you think, of what you believe. That's sad, and it's happening in America now too. We're turning into two countries. We're like Israel and Palestine, as far as I'm concerned. We're like North and South Korea. We are two different countries in America now. The people who believe in America and the people who decided America is supposed to be. I'm not going to get into it, but this is America. We're American. Whatever the heck the other side is doing that's not America. Just start your own country. And it's at that point, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, that's why I've been depressed lately. All right, so we're looking at now, I just got a little emotional there. Myanmar, was it? Malaysia. All right, let's look at Malaysia, where it's located. Why can't I see it? There's so many places. Where did Malaysia go? Oh, give me a hint, you guys. If somebody knows where Malaysia is on the map, because I want to keep the whole map, and I'll cheat. Let me look at the oh, hello, loves lot. Oh, yes, yeah, I already saw you. Miss your candy attack. Oh, I might do some candy attack. I understand how you feel. I'm struggling with the same thing lately. Right, and loves lattes. Loves latte. Are you in Canada, I believe? Or maybe you're in the US. For some reason, there was someone that was from Canada, but again, Canada and the US, we have very different views, but we're the same race. I mean, we're very diverse. We're diversity, and I have sort of many of the same principles. I'm struggling with the same thing lately. Yeah. So I have to get away. Right. I remembered that. Yeah. So we have things in common, culturally, racially, etc. So that's how I feel about Turkey and Greece. They had, and I don't know much about the deep history, but I know that they were at war at some point, and they don't like each other sometimes. So anyway, but the food is similar, or so I gotta find. I'm gonna have to go Asia. Where is Malaysia though? It's over by. I just saw it. All right, I'll get back to Malaysia. I don't remember where it is. Myanmar. Let's see. Hang on a second. I have to delete one row. Edit. Delete that row. Okay. Nepal. I think I had said no for Nepal. Why can't I see any of these? I gotta calm down. I can't even remember where the countries are. I'm getting them all mixed up. Okay, we're up there. Russia? No. Mongolia. Let's go. I'm gonna go down the map instead of alphabet. Mongolia, I said yes. It may be wrong. China, yes. Okay, Japan, yes. I'm gonna have to search for Malaysia. I can't find it. I'll search and then go back. Malaysia. When I worked at the World Bank, I had met a young man from Malaysia. Oh, that's over there by Singapore. Is Singapore a country or a city? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so ignorant. Singapore appears to be a city. Okay, so it's all the way down there. And then there's this big long island. Would that be Indonesia? What is that? What are these things? Oh, Indonesia. They're called the Greater Sundar Islands. But Indonesia's over here. Oh, Indonesia's more than one place. It's like a bunch of islands. Isn't this amazing? You can learn so much just fiddling around on the internet. Okay, and now I got to Google Indonesia, but I'm going off track again, but I'm just going to quick Google, is Indonesia a bunch of islands? See, that's how you learn. And of course, I mean, general information like this, I don't check the reference, but you should check the reference, who's saying it. Like I could start a blog, I always remind people and say, Indonesia is actually located in the USSR, and it was populated originally by the Eskimos. I mean, I could make up anything. You Google it, you find it on the internet. You don't just automatically believe it. But how I feel about Google or internet searches. You entered the question, and so okay, images. How many islands are there in Indonesia? See, Indonesia is a bunch of islands. 14,752. Do they all use chopsticks? I'm going to have to, but I'm going to say yes for the general. No, they might. Okay. Anyway, okay. So that's interesting. I'm not going to do too much in depth or I won't get back to my. So Indonesia's down there. And yeah, I see a lot of islands. And then that gets close to Australia already. So I'm going to stop at Indonesia. I see a lot, but I mean, as I get closer, they can't possibly all be on Google Maps. But yeah, you've got these teeny little, gosh, I wonder if there's like an island. Look at these. Oh, that must be so cute. I mean, imagine if you had a boat and you found one teeny little island that nobody has inhabited. Oh God, it might be inhabited by natives and you're some crazy, and they kill you. You say, who is that strange looking person coming on that weird looking floating device? Yeah, I remember, that's, I believe in Jesus and all that, but you all might remember the story of the man who wanted to spread Jesus' love, and he went to some island, was inhabited by people who had practically never seen other humans. It was a little island, and he was going to go spread the love of Jesus, and he got completely decapitated and stabbed and murdered. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't be laughing, but you should love whoever you love and follow your religion, but who knows? You know what? Who knows? Me laughing, maybe one of those people from the tribe of people, maybe just one of them saw what happened, and through the death of the missionary, he somehow felt, but, and maybe just that one little light will eventually cause the spread of Jesus. You could stretch it a bit, but I think it's funny, and I do believe in Jesus, but what that man did was a little cuckoo there. So anyway, I'm sorry, I should not. Comic relief. All right, let's get back to our list. So where was I? I was trying to do Malaysia and I got distracted by Indonesia. So there's Malaysia right there. Okay, and Malaysia is, see, Thailand is right by Vietnam. And I am almost sure Vietnam, okay, I am going to cheat a little bit. I already said that Vietnam uses chopsticks. I've decided that Vietnam, let me write it. Okay, no, I put yes for cooking. See, it's sort of like the chopsticks phase out. I'm going to Google Vietnam and say, do they use chopsticks for eating in Vietnam? And if it says no, but just for cooking, then I'm going to guess it will be the same in the country next to it. It'll be the same in Vietnam and Thailand. So I'm going to look up Vietnam just to have a little cheat. So, does Vietnam use chopsticks? What you should know. Using chopsticks in Vietnam. This is a vietnamdrive.com. It's a blogger. I'm going to look for a more official Vietnamese chopsticks. Maybe they use different kind of chopstick. Okay, in Vietnam, chopsticks are as common as fork, according to this blogger. It's a blog of a person who wrote it, but it's not a topic that's so, like if it's politics, you got to be more careful of the sources. But chopsticks, if I look at a few and a few places say the same, and it's not such a serious topic, it doesn't matter. The source is maybe not as important. So this one says, in Vietnam, they're as common as a fork and knife. Vietnam, all about dua, they call them there. Dua. In Vietnam, chopsticks are as common as fork, knife, and spoon. This is due to the mixture of the East and West eating habits. Vietnamese people use chopsticks a lot as some of the common dishes that the consumed are rice, noodles, and cakes, which are served in both. Okay, Vietnamese are cooked by the locals. The word comes from, so what do they look like? The standard Vietnamese chopsticks are similar to the ones from China. They are flat, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so do not spear food. Oh, here's the etiquette. Do not spear your food. Do not lick your sticks. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I never have done that, but I can see how someone would. An American would definitely spear it. We get so frustrated. Oh, and I'll give you another story about chopsticks in a bit. But yeah, I mean, you want to be part of the culture and you learn. And, sure, you might do one or two and it's an accomplishment. It's like, could you please bring me a fork? You get hungry. It's a way to keep your weight down, though, if you force yourself to learn chopstick. Okay, do not. No, I can imagine. I'll go through them, and I can imagine an American doing all of these things. Do not spear food. Definitely something, frustration, you're hungry, you try to spear it. All right. Do not lick your sticks. Definitely something. Even I might do some of these. I don't think I would lick the sticks. It's like licking a knife. You don't do that either. You don't lick anything. You don't lick the fork. All right. Do not use them to cut food. Yeah, I could see getting the two and trying to rip it apart. But on the other hand, should they be giving you big pieces of food that you have to cut? I believe the food is usually served in smaller pieces so that you could. But anyway, do not point at people. Oh, hey, look at that over there. Yeah, do not point in any case is wrong, unless you're a teacher, and you're pointing to the board. Do not point at people with the sticks. Do not return food from your bowl to the shared dishes. Okay, well, obviously you eat something, you're not to put it back into the bowl that you served from. That's common sense. I don't think an American who knows the etiquette here would do that either. But definitely, do not spear food, do not lick your sticks, do not use them to cut food. Those three definitely an American would very likely do. Okay, do not point at people with the sticks. Might, but pointing is rude in general in many cultures. Do not return food from your bowl to the shared dishes. Do not dig for food in the shared dishes. Just take from the top. Yeah, I just want to pick out the stuff that I want out of the dish. Okay. We do that in America, and I don't think it's considered that rude over here. You just pick, oh, I'd like the wing, please, or I'd like the, the chicken, I prefer the what do you call it, the drumstick or whatever. So yeah, here we I don't know, maybe it's rude here too. I do it. I only want the broccoli, or I don't want any of the chicken. So okay, now I know, because actually I would have done that now that I know I won't, but or I'll try to try to do it when nobody's looking. But do not dig food in the hand, take from the top. Okay. Do not make sounds or play with the sticks when being on the table. Oh, yeah, we do that. Oh, chopsticks. Hey, hey, look at this. Yeah, definitely. And I like to think that I have polite table manners, but depending on the place. If it was a very, very fancy, tablecloth place, maybe I wouldn't do the chopsticks joke. But, if we're some casual place, hey, look at me. I'm like I'm some kind of insect. Okay. And definitely a couple of drunk Americans. Oh, yeah, we're a little bit rough around the edges. Okay, do not try to move any dishes or bowls with your sticks on the table. I believe this was written by a non-Native American speaker. But I guess what the person is trying to say, do not try to move any dishes or bowls with your sticks on the table. Yeah, don't try to use the sticks to move the food, like the bowls of food that, serving plates, I guess, or something. So I can't see us doing that. We'd probably just grab it and move it. So do not pick up food first before the oldest person on the table is done so. Don't serve yourself. See, it's not a Native American speaker, but yeah, the eldest. Actually, in France, I remember that was told to me that was. It's probably should be kind of an unverbalized rule here too. The elderly get the respect, and so apparently at least in Vietnam, and I'm going to assume in most Asian countries, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, the eldest person gets served first, and then on down the line, and the youngest gets served last. So, out of politeness. But a baby, like a really, really, really young baby that's desperately hungry, I believe even in Vietnam, you give the baby first so he shuts up. I know that sounds mean, but a crying baby, we understand they're hungry, they're hurting, they're dirty diaper. A baby's a baby, and of course we understand. But the first thing you want to do when a baby starts crying is to get him to shut the heck up, because I'm not a mother. And I know if I had a baby, maybe I would have learned patience. And I completely understand, which is why I'm all for public breastfeeding. I have no problem with that. Whatever gets the baby to stop, if he's hungry, pull it out and shove it in his mouth, because I'd rather that. And I just, if I don't like it, look away. I mean, yeah, it's probably best if the mother be more discreet and have something to cover, but I prefer whatever. If the baby gets fed and stops crying in public, in a movie theater, I don't care where. So as conservative as I am, I'm realistic too. All right. So what were we saying? So off on another tangent. I'll read the chat in a minute after I finish this. So do not pick up food first before the oldest person on the table. Okay. Do not try to pick food from communal dishes at the same time as someone else is doing so. Oh yeah, you serve one at a time. Okay, that's we do that too, I think. Well, again, in a you're at a Super Bowl party and it's the wings, okay, maybe a couple of people will be grabbing at the same time if it's a big plate. So I assume even in Vietnam or any other country, the rules are more relaxed depending on the situation. A tailgate party, those kind of things. But at the same time as someone. Do not place the sticks in the form of the letter V after being full. Place them on top of the right rice bowl. Okay, that's interesting. So when you're finished eating and you don't want any more, put the two sticks side by side on top of your rice bowl or your rice. And I remember in Japan, when I was little, we did do a little bit in Japan in my grammar school class. We did like a week where we learned about Japan. That was fun. And we sat on the floor. We had a little meal and sat on the floor. We didn't use chopsticks, but we drank tea. So we sat on the floor. And I remember. And I remember one of the things we learned in class, we didn't actually eat a meal, but was that if you want to be served again, you don't have to tell the host. You just leave a few grains of rice on your plate. And, and then if there are a few grains of rice, without any verbalized, they just serve you more, the host. And if you're completely full and don't want any more, you get every little last bit of rice off your plate. And I'm assuming that's to help, indirectly, I add things to it. But I think, okay, maybe that came from, okay, you get every little last bit of rice off your plate so that the host doesn't have to scrape the food. Now she can just go maybe rinse it quick or I mean, I'm saying put it in the dishwasher as an American, but maybe they have to wash, the host or whoever has to wash the dishes after. And if there's rice left, even a few grains on each plate, it goes into the sink. And maybe in the old days, they didn't have garbage disposals that would, and so it's etiquette because there's a purpose to etiquette. So anyway, we were taught that if you want more food, you leave a few grains of rice on your plate. And if you don't, then you're full, you completely finish every last grain. So for some reason, they tell you don't leave the sticks in a V, place them on top of your rice bowl. And again, indirectly, perhaps that's because it makes it easier for the host to pick up the table, pick up the things. Oh, the chopsticks are all in one place, so she can grab them. I'm even thinking it would make it easier. Grab the chopstick, put the bowl into another bowl as you pick up, so the bowls stack up, and whatever. That's me completely. But everything is done ordinarily for a purpose that we then forget. It just becomes common knowledge that, oh, you put it in like this on your bowl because that's just polite, and you have to save, you don't have to explain. That's what religion is, guys. I mean, you get into certain beliefs, and yeah, of course you believe in, I don't want to get off on a tangent. It just simplifies the thing. It makes a big whole explanation of why, and it simplifies it to, this is what you do. And it just makes everything more pleasant for the host cleaning up, for not getting the right, is my opinion. Manners don't just come up for a reason, just because, oh, we have to start doing this way because I said so. It comes for a purpose, a good purpose or a bad purpose, This is hard now. Let me take a sip. Let me check the chat. I've been talking too much. If I even have one viewer left. Oh, Hamilton. Oh, right. You made me kind of laugh too with your story of the missionary. Yeah. I do think about it sometimes. And I know how, and I'm not going to start doing the whole religion thing, two people, but when I found Jesus, the first thing I wanted to do was tell the world how wondrous it is and what a salvation and how the peace he gives me. When I have, like, everything else is wrong, I have him. That they believe that doing what that gentleman did could save people. And even if he died doing it, he knew that he could possibly die. But he believed that, it doesn't matter. I'm going to save people in some way. Or so he did what he did, and it happened. But it kind of seems like somebody should have stopped him. Somebody should have, let's say he's right. Jesus exists and I'm going to save the people and all that. Pretend it's true. Pretend it really, you believe it. But the people who don't believe in Jesus, we have psychiatrists, psychologists, policemen. I mean, that was in a different country, of course, but it would seem that somebody would have said, no, the gentleman is having some sort of mental breakdown. He's psychologically not well. We've got to stop him, period. He's a harm to himself. He's going to injure himself, so, but whatever, I'll have to look up what country. See, I'm going to go on another tangent. I'll be here all day. All right, we'll get back to oh, it's frozen. Oh my gosh. Are you guys there? Are you there? Bad internet, bad Wi-Fi. Oh, are you guys there? Answer. Let me try to